prophesy to you. You will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word. Liberia, sweet land of liberty, we prophesy to you. You will rise, you will shine, you will prosper in Africa. Hear the word.
All right, family. Welcome to Liberia Shall Rise. This is your host, Stephen E. Keller, aka Dr. Positive. I want to welcome you to another edition of Liberia Shall Rise. Today's topic is Diaspora Liberian making an impact in Liberia, folks. So imagine with me for a minute. You are a Liberian around the world. No matter where you are, you have you have the financial resources to do something in Liberia, and you go and leave everything basically and go and situation yourself in Liberia, start something and start making impact, start changing people's life. This is a Liberia we hope for, and this is a Liberia we hope to talk about today. A Liberian, Mr. Adam M. Kyne, one that was born in Liberia, raised in Liberia, went through the war, came to America, started enjoying milk and honey, and all of a sudden he left Liberia, he left where he was to go back home to start making change. Imagine that. It takes someone special to do something like that. What motivated him? What encouraged him to take that step? You know, somebody will say, oh, you in America, you enjoying yourself. Why leave your milk and honey? Why leave everything you're doing to go home to Liberia? This is a question that I don't have answer for, because I'm still in America here. I'm still sitting down, enjoying myself in America. But I want to know what encouraged Mr. Adam Kyne to make that change, and how can some of us get motivated to also transition to Liberia, to also be an impact, to also be able to help somebody, to also be able to help change somebody's life. This is what we'll be discussing today. So don't go nowhere. Grab your palm wine, grab your cassava gravy, and your ginger beer. Folks, let's have a discussion about the future of Mama Liberia. It is only through us, it is only Liberians that are going to help Liberia to rise. So please join me as this song finishes. We'll be right back and start the show. The song is by Zach and Jiba. Keep on trying. All of us, no matter what we do, we have to keep on trying to help make Mama Liberia better. So please don't go nowhere. Stay right there. We'll play the song right after the song finishes. We'll be right back with our guests. Thank you. Again, family. Again, family, thank you so much for joining us. Just post where you are watching from. It's a pleasure having you on today. We are just sharing the show. Please do the same for us. Continue sharing as the song plays, and we'll be right back. All right. Again, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Life is not easy to carry on. I know you've been trying so very, very hard, but you got to be strong if you wanna survive. You could be a rich man, you may be a poor man. We are just the same. One life, one blood. Sometimes it gets so hard for you. You even want to kill yourself. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. As long as there is life, there's got to be hope. Whoa, whoa. Keep on trying. One day, keep on trying. It's gonna be better. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. If you've been suffering for so long and there's nowhere to turn, just take it to the Lord in prayer. He will be on your side, and you're never, never gonna fall. You've been hurt so many times. You've been let down by all your friends. But don't lose your mind. Keep trying so hard. Some
All
pretend
right,
love you
family.
when you
Welcome to
have.
Liberia Shall Rise. Welcome to Liberia Shall Rise. This is another edition of the show. Liberians, diaspora making an impact in Liberia. Liberians in the diaspora making an impact in Liberia. So when we talk about Liberia Shall Rise, folks, I just want you to see this picture, this big picture about what we mean. You know, we don't feel like it's going to be magic. It's going to happen by magic. All of us, wherever we are, with our own skills, our own abilities, we have to do whatever we can in our own little corner, like we always say, to help where we can. So whether you are a doctor, you can go and open clinic, you can go and open hospitals. Whether you are a mechanic, you can go and open a mechanic shop, and everything doesn't have to be based in Monrovia, right? So the whole idea of Liberia Rising is all of us as countrymen putting our hands together to say, hey, I'm going to do my part in my area of expertise to help where I can help. You know, so this is why we are bringing people that have already taken that initiative to say, hey, even though I have it all well here, even though I have it all good where I am, I'm going to make that effort to go and do something in Liberia, because without my help, my country will not get to where it needs to be. So us being selfish and say, hey, in my own little selfishness, I have to help my country to do better. So I will leave some of the things that I'm doing. I will pause some of the things that I'm doing wherever I am and go and help my country, because my country need me. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. And I want you to see this as something, folks, that we all have to be part of. In order for Liberia to rise, it's not one president that will do it. We need multiple presidents with good ideas, with with good plan to help Liberia to rise. In order for Liberia to rise, we need multiple citizens with different businesses to do what they can to help Liberia to rise. In order for Liberia to rise, we need every citizen, wherever you are, at your level, of expertise, at your level of work, to do what you can to help Liberia to rise. So this is what we are hoping to discuss here today. My guest is on his way. He's actually driving to his office. He will get on the show as soon as he gets situated. So we didn't want to bring him on while he was in traffic. So we want him to focus on getting to the office. So once he get there, he's gonna join us. He already sent us a note telling us that he will be with us shortly. So please bear with me, right? Please bear with me. So um yeah, but again, folks, like I'm saying, we all have to contribute. Somebody, Samuka said, I'm watching from Dubai. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuka. Samuka Kone, thank you for joining us. And I believe it's your first time here on Liberia Shall Rise, but thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking up your Saturday to join us today. So, in the meantime, let me just do a little intro of the show, and then we'll bring our guests on. And as we talk, I will actually bring somebody on quickly to kind of help me to bring this show to life today. So we all are in the diaspora. We all are doing something somewhere. We all have different expertise in whatever we do. So what this show is meant to do is to encourage us, right? You don't have to wait for you to have it all. You don't have to wait for that perfect moment. There would never, ever, ever, ever be a perfect moment in life. So you have to take advantage of the little time you have, whatever you can do now, to do it gradually, gradually. The Basel people say little drop of water make a mighty ocean, right? They say click click you need, so that you have to drop small drop of water can actually make the mighty ocean. So you have to start from somewhere. So you go and do something, have a plan on what you want to do, start gradually, and then eventually you can get to where you want to get. So Mr. Jensen, I'm going to bring you on. All right, he's gone. All right. So we lost our other caller in already. So folks, while we get our guests to come on, again, like I was saying, this show is meant to encourage all of us. It's not going to be easy for Liberia to rise. It's not going to be easy for Liberia to get to where it's supposed to be. So what do you know? What skills do you have? If you are financially able, what opportunities can you create to bring opportunities to bring jobs to Liberia? What can you do with your skills to bring jobs to Liberia? So this is what we are hoping that we all get out of this topic today, and together we all can have a plan to help Liberia to rise. And in order for Liberia to rise, folks, we don't have to do everything in Monrovia. We don't have to do everything in Monrovia, because that's a mistake we make. And Monrovia is getting overcrowded. Everybody from the villages are leaving the villages and coming to Monrovia. Everybody from the diaspora are leaving wherever they are and going to Monrovia. We need to develop our individual villages by doing something in those areas, right? Our individual counties, by doing something in those counties. Because if we all say we're going to move to Monrovia, eventually we will have no space to do anything. So we have to look at the big picture and say, all right, if I build my house in my county, my brother will also be encouraged to build his house in our county, right? If I build my business in my county, my friends are going to be encouraged to say, oh, they will come and join me because they want to be in that same area that I am. So we have to look at the big picture, right? We have to look at the big picture and say, where do we start from? How do we do this? And how each of us can contribute in our own little area. So now, without any further ado, I think our guest is in studio. He flew in from Liberia. He's sitting down in studio here in the United States right now. So I'm going to bring him live to come and join the show. This brother of Mr. Kyne is a friend of ours. He's a childhood friend. We kind of interacted a long time ago. So I will let him come and introduce himself. But I want you to know that this is not going to be a biased interview. I'm going to be Dr. Positive on here and try to do the best to do justice to this show so that we all can get the benefit of why we are here, because the whole idea here is what we all can do to make Liberia better. So, Mr. Kyne, let me welcome you to Liberia Shall Rise. Welcome, welcome. Glad you made it to the office.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, welcome to Liberia Shall Rise. Should I call you Reverend Khan, Brother Khan? You know, my, where do we start from? You know.
Well, just call me Adam. I think Adam Khan is
No, no, no. I don't want to bypass my respect, man. I will call
no man.
you Reverend.
For the purpose of this show, call me Adam Khan. So
Okay,
that's
okay, okay. So Adam, let's start the show. You know, okay. You sound like a Liberian, right? You sound like a Liberian. I want to believe you, right? But here on Liberia Shall Rise, we do our own citizenship question. The simple question is: you have the opportunity to travel out of Liberia to go to some strange country. And the people say, hey, my man, in order for you to come here, to get visa to come here, you have to tell us your favorite food and be able to explain it to us such that we can prepare it for our citizens to taste it. What would be that favorite food of yours that you will use to represent Liberia at that strange country? What would be that food?
well. I used to like grumpy soup, but
Mm,
now I think I'm more gearing towards pumpkin soup. I don't know, for some
pumpkin
reason
soup.
I've developed a great appetite and taste for pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup. Okay, so with the alcohol oil, the fried fish, everything in there. Can you describe it for me so people can understand how you
Well,
like
it's
it?
a description of I think the pumpkin is mashed up. I haven't cooked it yet, so I don't know how it looked like. But I think it's fried with meat and chicken and all that with all of the ingredients. So yes, pumpkin soup is my favorite. I think
Okay.
now gearing towards my favorite.
Gearing towards, so pumpkin soup is gradually eating up the grumpy soup. All right. so, so welcome to the show, brother. Again, thank you for taking up the opportunity to come on the
Thank you
show.
so much.
And just to start the show to talk about where we all got to know each other from, I want you to please tell our audience who is Mr. Adam Kyne, right? And then I'll have a follow-up question for you from that.
Well, I don't know where to begin from, but I think Adam M. Kyne, native of Liberia, born here in Liberia, and I'm not one of those who were born with silver spoon, of course, from a struggling family background. My father was an educator. I live on Capitol Bypass, later moved to Oro, where I went to school. I graduated from the Haywood Mission School on the Oro, and after which, due to the Civil War, I had to leave to be in Ghana,
Mhm.
where I lived on the refugee camp for I think 3 years, but then went to school in Accra, where I graduated with an associate degree in theology, and then later on was resettled to the United States, where I lived in Boston, later on Rhode Island, and then later on Virginia. But while in America, I went to school, graduated with a bachelor in biblical and pastoral studies at the Zion Bible College in Rhode Island, and then went later on to Virginia, where I attended Virginia University, black historical black university, and graduated with a master's in divinity, and then I went to the State University, Virginia Commonwealth University, where I also graduated with a master's in social work, and then
Wow.
also I went to Wharton University and graduated with a master's in philosophy, and currently I am doing a completed all coursework for PhD. I will be graduating probably by May with a PhD in Human and Behavioral Services with emphasis in disaster crisis and intervention. Uh, about me, and I am a professor. I teach at Alberta Magna College in the United States. Used to 1 year ago, and I'm also a social worker. I pastor the Second Baptist Church in Connecticut for just resigned that position, and also my professorship position has already been on hold because I cannot be in Liberia at the same time or teach in-person classes. So until I get back to the States, I can continue that. And then I also work as, like I said, a social worker, working with clients with dual diagnosis, mental illnesses, and substance abuse. And I think that's me. My love for Liberia has kindled so much. Why in America, my entire life was preparing to return to Liberia. I think if you look at the trajectory of my life story, is that everything that I did was meticulously done so that I can return to Liberia. And so
Wow.
that's who I am right now. I'm currently in Liberia. I've been here for 1 year and 3 months so far.
Wow, that's a big portfolio, man. Congratulations, and I'm proud of you for
Thank you.
all that. You know, that's a lot of studies and thing. You know, I want to congratulate you. I myself being a student, I know I've tasted what it is to go to college here, and it's not easy to have multiple degrees just to help Mama Liberia. To be honest, I want to give my hats off to you on behalf of our ancestors and our country. I want to say thank you for your achievement. You know,
Thank you, my
yeah,
brother.
you're welcome. But then let's go back into time. Let's go way back into time. Before you got all these extra um degrees. I see behind you got some artworks, right?
Yeah,
It,
obviously. Look at my office. Look at all of them.
it's
I mean,
beautiful.
I
It
just
is
got a
beautiful.
lot of them all over.
Yeah. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. So briefly tell my listeners, right? Your experience, and I'll ask kind of like who drew those things in the back there
Well, I
before.
got one here. I got one here, but I think some of my promotion is I'm promoting emerging artists in Liberia.
Mhm.
So I promoted two artists that are doing most of the work because
Okay,
we're about to have an art exhibit here at the center. So
that's
I have
nice.
one that I did, but the rest of
Okay.
them I just promoting emerging artists. I'm trying to mentor them.
All right. So talking about that though, that's great. That's great initiative as well. You are somebody that had an experience going to ACS. Can you just please explain how that education from CAP help you in Liberia and out of Liberia before you started getting all the other degrees, you know?
Well, CAP again is a vocational program where diversity of or diverse vocations were offered, and I happened to attend that vocational institution, and I picked arts. I was doing arts at the vocational training program, and one of the reasons I think why I went to do arts and I have to leave regular school to go to art school was the fact that I never had money at the time to pay tuition. And so, never having money to pay tuition, I needed to take on the next step. And so, what I did was I dropped out of school for 2 years. And by then I think I was in the ninth grade or 10th grade, I dropped out of school for 2 years so that I can obtain a form of degree, a vocational training. And so that's how I went to the Children Assistant Program at the American Cooperative School on the oral. And that's how I acquired vocational certificate in artistic work. Some of these work, of course, I'm mentoring young kids. But I think the benefit from attending the American Cooperative School or the Children Assistant Program that was at that school was the fact that after I graduated, I was given a scholarship. So from 10th grade to 12th grade, I was on art scholarship throughout until I graduated. Not only that, but after I left the country and went to Ghana, that was the only means of survival. I was living on arts. And then when I came to America, because of my educational journey or sojourning, I have not been too active in expressing myself. So I do art now as a leisure. Where
Yeah.
if I have time, I just do art for leisure. But I'm not doing it as a career at the moment.
Yeah, and I think you made a brilliant point, right, which I wanted to stress. You said you had to leave school for
Yeah.
2 years to go and pursue your art, your vocational skill, right?
Or
And
not leave, but I never have money to go to school. So
yeah,
I had no option.
you
I had
had
no
no
option.
option, so you had to enroll in the vocational program to
Yes.
at least give you an opportunity to be able to further your education, you know. And you
Yes.
saw that. So, who kind of advised you to do that, or it was just something that you had the inclination that since I don't have money, let me do something that will make me money?
Well, Stephen Toll, I think my art instructor, before he became my art instructor, he was also my mentor. So he
Mhm.
took care of us. So Stephen Toll was the one who persuaded me that it was appropriate that I go and do arts so that I can have something to to work on. So that's how I did arts. So I was
Wow.
motivated by Stephen Tobia.
Wow. Well, and that's a good story, and thank you for adding that, because I think a young person listening in Liberia right now that might be going through similar struggle can kind of like say, "Hey, maybe I can go that path too." So again, thank you for sharing that. Because sometimes people only see you on top, they don't know your bottom story. So thank you for sharing that. Now, talking about your work, right? Some may say basically you squander opportunity. You leave the land of milk and honey. You left America. What kind of man are you? Why did you leave Liberia to go back? Your comfort. Why did you leave America, your comfort zone, to go back to somewhere like Liberia to say you want to live in Liberia? You say you've been in Liberia for 1 year. What is the story behind that? What really motivated you?
Well, I will. One thing I will tell you is this: that when I entered the United States of America for the first time, I knew that I was coming. God was preparing me to train myself and to be well equipped to return to Liberia. Having experienced the Civil War and saw how most of the children were involved in war and the psychological implication that impacted the entire country, having this generic psychological trauma throughout the country, I knew that I had work to do. And so when
Mm,
I went to America, I had a mission. My mission was to make sure that I prepare adequately. Uh, I prepare adequately to have all of the necessary skills so that I will return. So yes, it's true. Being in America, I may have everything that I want. Enjoy the luxury, all of everything that is needed. But I think one of the things in life, and now that I have reached this age, one of the things in life is the fact that at this moment, one of the things in life that I'm struggling with is understanding fulfillment. Uh, Fulfillment. I think fulfillment is one of my drives. It's what driving me to be where I am at the moment. Being in America, those last moments before I came to Liberia, I think I was always driven to that level of fulfillment. I think you can have all of the money. Let me just be frank with you. You can have all of the money, live in the best space, and live in and have everything. As long you are not fulfilled, there will always be this emptiness within. And I think that's my major problem when I was in America those last days. I've always had the emptiness. Yes, I'm achieving. Yes, I'm doing this. Yes, I'm doing that. But
mm,
there was always fulfillment. Something was lacking in spite of my achievement. Something, I had everything, yes, but something was lacking. And I think one of the things I would tell people, and this is one of the quote that I always carry, is my own quote: the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but it is a life that does not fulfill its potential. It would
mm,
have been tragic for me if I have died in America. And
mm,
God
mm,
visited me literally to open my eyes, because I remember for some reason I just created some heart issue. Was not a major problem, but they had to
mhm,
take me to the hospital, and they were saying so a lot of things. So someone coming to me, the nurse coming to me and telling me, "Oh, Adam, can you write your will?" And then I'm
mm,
laying in the hospital in the cardio department and asking myself, "Wow, so it would be more tragic if I were to die in America and not fulfill my given dreams that I aspired to be and do in Liberia." And so that was an eye-opening moment for me, that I do not want to, live in America to enjoy everything and not have my life fulfilled. And so I think, yes, America did a session of the world for me, training, but I think I needed more. And that
brother.
more was fulfillment, to return to Liberia and give back what I've learned, to give myself, to give everything that God has given me to this country, because this is where I belong. And I think that's what drives me to come to Liberia. Yes, I miss my
Wow,
children, I miss
wow.
everything, but I wouldn't have stayed in America. I wouldn't feel fulfilled. Even if I made all the money, there wouldn't be fulfillment in it. And that's how I felt. The last
Wow.
moment.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's touching in its own, right? And something for someone like me as well, because I've been struggling with that also. Like, people at work hear me talk about Liberia. People at anybody I interact with, I talk about Liberia. So I just want to bring somebody on quickly to say hi to you. Then we'll continue with the question. But I think that in itself is lifting for anybody who is out here in the diaspora that want to make it back home. living without that fulfillment, it will drain you to your grave. I can see, because I personally, like I said, when I came up with Liberia Shall Rise, there was something I was feeling and said, Stephen, you hear saying, Mr. Jensen, Mr. Jensen, quickly you can say hi to Adam and then tell us your quick connection with Adam, then you can go back to work if you want.
Oh, okay. How you doing? My name is Basi Jensen. Uh, how you doing, American? There's a friend, brother Basi Jensen.
How you doing, Brasi? How's everything with you?
I'm doing wonderful. As you can see, I'm keeping my eyes on the road while trying to, get on the show to at least, pay, a homage and respect to the both for you. The both for you are two great young Liberians in the diaspora trying to do the positive things. And Mr. Khan, and I will be friends. We went to high school together almost 25 years ago at Haven Mission.
Oh,
So I
I
was
say
just
25 years ago. Come on.
say that again.
you're trying to age people on here. You
Not
nobody
making
wants
old,
to
Brasi.
yeah, good.
All right. I take that back. We went to high school together, and we are members of our graduating class sodas. And when Adam told me that he had a vision of going back to Liberia, he said, "I'm going to use the faith of God to get to where I'm supposed to be." I know through the eyes of faith. Before he could leave for Liberia, the last place he stopped was, he came to pay a visit to me and let me know, hey, I'm going to Liberia to open the way as John the Baptist. The next person I'll be pulling will be you. I said, hey, I'm ready, so I'm glad to see that, whatever we talk about, yeah, it's coming to fruition. And also to my brother Stephen Keller, also too, I've been knowing for a couple of years also too. And I appreciate it both for you guys, and I hope to see that, more Latinos will jump, on a positive bandwagon to see what best we can do to move Mama Liberia forward. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you, Brasi. Drive safe, my man. Stay on
Yeah,
the road.
drive safe.
Drive safe, please.
All right.
All right, take care, brother. All right, so brother, again, going back to what you said, that passion, without being fulfilled, right? It will lead you to your grave, and you get there without even doing what you're supposed to do on this earth. So I feel like my calling is to tell that story, right? That's why I'm behind the camera here, trying to reach out to people like you to say, hey man, some of us are here, right? We want to do this thing, but how are you doing it? How did it happen for you? So can you please, let's segment a little bit and tell us about the work you are doing in Liberia. Tell us about the Kyne Collegiate Academy Resource Center. Can you please go into that a little bit?
Well, Steve, I think, like I said, when I arrived in the United States and started going to school, I think I was blown apart when I first entered the university library. The first university I attended, the Zion Bible College, a very prestigious, beautiful, architecturally built library. So when I entered that space and began to look around, I think I started raising critical questions, and some of the critical
Mhm.
questions that I asked was, God, how come? Why don't we have something like this? What it takes to have something? What is it going to take to have something like this in Liberia? So those were questions that I was raising. And then God has a sense of humor. It's like God was speaking to me and saying, "Why can't you have it? Why can't you do it?"
Mhm.
So hearing that from that moment, 2006, I've been very intentional trying to gather books, because now in my mindset, I want to establish a library. That's what I had in mind. So I was going to
Mhm.
book auction, saving money, buying books at the university, book auction, Virginia Commonwealth, going to Massachusetts, buying books and just gathering books, just storing books, just not knowing what would happen. I was just storing books, storing books, until finally I was able to get almost like a whole storage for the book before I realized God now is leading me. But my major goal was to come to Liberia to establish, like a library. But as I went along, my mission and vision started changing. So if I just have a library, just going to be only restricted to reading and writing. So I said, well, I think I should blow this thing up. It's not just a library in a modern dispensation. So why can't we have something more than library. And so I started thinking in the fears of having a resource center that will have not just reading space, but will conduct programs relative to my field of study, like social work, education. Why can I have all of those? So for the first time in the Republic of Liberia after the Civil War, I was able to gather resources almost in the form of 60,000 United States dollars to make sure that I get books and computers. And then I brought everything to Liberia and established the first resource center in the country, the first best resource center in the country ever. And so I was able to establish the Kyne Collegiate Resource Center here on 12th Street. And at this center, we offer 3 programs. The first program that we offer is called the Scholar Practitioner Program. And what the Scholar Practitioner Program does is that it helps college students, and it also helps high schoolers who are going to college. So we have this program where young high schoolers just graduating from high school, we empower them to go out to mentor people in the community or mentor other elementary schools. In return, we help to get them into college, expedite some of their tuition payment into school. That's first. That's the first part of it. But while they're in college, also we engage them in rigorous scholarship, where we teach them research comprehension. We help them with avoiding plagiarism, engaging in real scholarly work, building their mind, their heart, and their hands in the fields of scholarship. And also we help with dissertation consultation. So we meet our college students coming together, and we have several workshops conducting courses that have not been taught in the university, like disaster, like substance abuse, which we are about to do, and we conduct a lot of courses. So that's the first program specifically designed for college students, helping them to build their scholarship and becoming what they're supposed to be, or what they are to be relative to college level competence and college level understanding. So the second program is called the Leadership and Entrepreneurial Academy. The Leadership and Entrepreneurial Academy is designed specifically for high schoolers. So now we deal with the college students. Now we're dealing with the high schoolers from 10th to 12th grade. So what we've done is that we send out letters to the various high schools within the country, vetting some of the best academic students in the country that have at least 3.8 to 4.0 GPA. So what we do, we send out letters, we vet them. After we have vetted them, we bring them into the program and engage them in 6 months of rigorous training. And in that training, we steer them through to captain several ship, like leadership, scholarship, entrepreneurship, internship, fellowship, and of course, all the ships. So we put them in all the ships. So we engage them thoroughly into all the ship you can think about: leadership, entrepreneurial, scholarship. So we engage them in 6 month training to come here every Saturday and one day within the week. And obviously, what happened is that we engage them in this training, and we invite scholars, we invite experts from different fields to participate and help them. So conduct workshops. So these experts come and just blow them apart, so that they're not too centered on understanding that life is only centered around being a politician in Liberia or being a pastor, because that's where the money is now, politician, pastor. So we expose them to diversity of career paths,
careers and stuff. Yeah.
physicists, anything, scientists, engineers, and we have all these engineers and scientists, physicists come and speak to them on and motivate them on how to be. In return, what we've done in return is that these young scholars will go out and mentor other younger people in elementary and junior high school. So that's part of the requirement. So after the 6 months, then we induct them into the higher form of scholarship. When they've gone through those 6 months training, then we induct them into the higher form of scholarship. They have now inducted into the Kyne scholarship in the country. The last program is the Clinical Anonymous program. The Clinical Anonymous program is geared towards helping those who are struggling with mental illness and substance addiction. So we train out psychoeducators, and those psychoeducators go out into the community and try to set up hubs and conduct psychoeducation therapies and help people in that respect. And so that's what really happened So
Okay.
those are the three programs that we offer here at the program. And of course, we have computer lab. People do computer training. We use our center here for workshop. We use our center also for emerging youth organization that don't have offices. We got a center within the center, a workstation where they start up until we can gain ascendancy and start gaining money to have their own offices. So there are a lot of other things we do, but those are the three
Three
main
major
programs.
yeah, on your three major things you do, I just had a follow-up question. um and I don't mean this in any bad way, right? um
Mhm.
in most organizations, or most of the organizations that vet students, right, they
Yeah.
usually vet the brightest and the smartest, right? And based on where we are in Liberia, by sometimes a student being a C student doesn't mean necessarily that our student is a dull or not smart. There could be a whole lot of circumstances surrounding that student being a under average student, right? Do you
Yeah.
think your program is feeling that maybe that Einstein or that Steve Jobs or even the some of these guys that didn't really do great in school, but they became successful entrepreneurs, they became successful people. Do you think your organization is feeling them by only looking at the brightest students at this
I
moment?
think there is a break in. There is a break in. I'm not hearing you.
Okay. No, what I'm asking is, do you think your organization
It's still breaking.
is well? All right, is it any better? Okay, I can hear you now, but what I was asking is, do you think your organization is failing some of those students that might be failing or might be scoring lower grades in school now because of other circumstances like poverty and other things, right? Do you think your organization is failing them by only selecting the type and the brightest students that are out there? Mr. Khan, I can't. Hold on. I can't hear you. Hold on one second. All right. So my speaker is on. So let's try again. Can you just disconnect quickly and come back in? For some reason your audio went out. All right, folks. Quickly, I'll post a number for you to start calling in if you have a question for our guests. Please call in, post your comment. I see you guys are posting some great and beautiful comments here, and thank you for your participation. Emmanuel says Liberia is a country full of talented people, most especially artists. You, as a diaspora Liberian who has achieved these ideas, what have you done planning? What have you done or planning to do in this sector? Okay, so this was for Adam. Um, okay, that's better. I think I can hear you. Go ahead.
You hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you
Yeah,
now.
you
So,
grounding. You grounding.
oh, okay,
Okay.
maybe it's something with the network just went by because we're hearing each other fine. So, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
so
hearing you now.
all right. So the question I was asking was, do you think your organization is filling some of those students that could likely become something different in the future, even though their average is low right now? It could be due to circumstances like poverty, not having money to pay their school fees, working or walking and doing a whole lot of things to get to school. Maybe they are struggling to get to school or even struggling to be in school. So that's why their grades might be low. Do you think your organization is filling those who could have likely been those Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and some of these guys that failed out of school and they were successful today?
Well, I think it's not that we're just limited to scholars, or even though the entrepreneurial academy is designed for scholars, but we also meet out the needs of those who are not scholars. So we have workshop, we bring all of them together. If there's a bigger workshop, we bring everyone together. I think what we're trying to promote in our center is scholarship.
Okay.
So even those that are struggling along the way, we help them to carry up their grades so that they can get into the academy. So it's not that we are, trying to ostracize people because of low C grades, but also we are also telling you that if you work a little harder, then you can get into the program. So I
Okay.
think instead of just, we could have centered the program to everybody, but we have to target a specific group of people.
No,
And
yeah.
these guys in return go out and tutor, of course, those who are struggling with C and what have you.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a
that's
great point. Yeah, I think that's a great
yeah,
point. I just wanted to clarify that because sometimes we leave some of those people out, and eventually they turn out to be something later on in the future. So once your program is doing something to help them along the way, I think that's a great thing. So talking about that, right? We all
yeah.
start something and we have this dream, our baby. We wake up in the morning, that's what we think about, that's what we want to do. And then we sometimes lose hope. Sometimes we don't see a light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, right? And I saw on your website, I was reading through your website, and I saw that you have a program that is coming up actually day after tomorrow with the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Do you think that's gave you hope? Do you think that gave you a light at the end of the tunnel to say, hey, somebody is watching, somebody is seeing what we are doing?
Well, I must commend the vice president. Let me just be frank with her, frank with all of us, that I think she have done exceptionally well. Let me just be frank with you. The vice president is the only person so far since I've been here that
Uh-oh. Your audio is gone again, I think. All
I
right,
may
go
I tell
ahead.
you, you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. It's better now.
Yeah, so I want to commend the vice president. I think she's the only person so far since I've been in Liberia that has contributed, to the entire work here in Liberia. So I've had other people come and give promises that have not helped, and it's like I've been sponsoring and funding this program my very self. So just to see the vice president coming and throwing in some money to help with the program, I think that helps. And she's been very much supportive. She's checking on me, and I'm checking all the time to know how far the work is going. Yeah, but again, back to your question. If you once you're in Liberia, you're doing anything here, you will start up. If you're not firm and you're not persistent, you will be discouraged and wrap up and just go, because the
Hmm.
true reality is you let's for instance you want to get your light done and pay an electrician to do your light, and they may not do your light. They may either money or delay or do a cheap work, and they will be have to be coming in and out. So those are some of the experiences in Liberia that you have to go through. So it's very essential. People get discouraged easily because of people not being trusted, people not being fed, so you will be discouraged. But if you are passionate again and have a dream and vision and know that it is going to occur, it is going to happen, then of course you will not be discouraged. You keep doing what you're doing. Yet, even in spite of the discouragement, you will still be resilient. And I think what will keep anybody in Liberia grounded and to continue work will be resilient. If you don't have that resilient, I'm 100% telling you, you will not, by any means, you will not by any means get anything done. So you have to be resilient. That's just the approach in Liberia.
All right, quickly before I go back to my question, let me involve my audience here. So Emmanuel is asking, what are your plans for artists? And I know you talked about it earlier at the beginning of the show, but you can just reiterate what you said in the beginning. They say you are once an artist. What is your plan for artists in Liberia since you pass in that area?
Well, artist must be it's not generic as in artist, as in musician. I think
Mhm,
I'm more an artist, a fine artist, one who
mhm,
engage in painting and drawing and what have you. And so I think what I have done over these months since I've been here is to select artists, buy canvases, buy pen, and buy everything, and select one or two and promote them, mentor them to have their work published. Like what you see behind me here is the
mhm,
work of some artists. So great work, John. I'm promoting them. Sooner and later, we're going to have an art exhibit. and their work will be presented to everybody. So that's what I'm doing. I'm mentoring emerging artists, people who are just beginning, and so that's what I'm doing at the moment. And it's my vision that we can have an art session most of the time here in Liberia at the center. So I'm trying to get all these canvases and paint and everything set up so we can train artists again, because that's my passion. That's one of my passions that I have, to be an artist. So.
All right, so Miss Kuman here is saying she's interested in you. Of all things you have done in Liberia, you chose a library, right? And maybe you should explain further that it's not just a library, right? She said she's curious which books or what kind of books you have in there. Um,
Well, again, it is not limited to a library. Like I said previously, this is a resource center, one-stop shop. So, besides, our motto here is "Readers are leaders," and so we have most of the books I hear that are college books. Let me just be frank with you. I went to, and I'm even soliciting books. So if you have college test books, I will need them. We have almost $60,000 or $50,000 worth of books, college books, textbooks, but these are all college materials. So it's the resource center. I don't think we don't have any elementary, junior high, or what have you, but everything is just loaded with college textbooks and novels and all this stuff. So those are just for reading purposes. So those are the reason. Those are some of the things we have. Yeah.
all right, let me just show them some picture of your setup quickly, then we can continue. So thank you again. Thank you for answering those questions. Let's see if I can get this right. Okay. So just tell people basically how people can be part of this. Before I get to my next question, how people can come and use your resources. You say it's a resource center. So how can one come and use your resource? For somebody listening from Liberia, how can they access your resource? And are you
Well,
recruiting anywhere outside of Monrovia?
Well, we're not recruiting. I think, like I told you, those three programs, I think, meet out the needs of almost all the population in Liberia. But we also work with professors, teachers to help with curriculum development, and they come. That's when we offer consultation. So we can offer consultation. Like if you're a college student and you want your thesis, let's say you have your thesis to be done, and you need consultation, we guide you through the process with your thesis. So there are a lot of college students come for consultation. There are other people who come for mentorship. There are other people who come to use our internet. Our internet is one of the highest speed internet in the country. It's paid for by the vice president. He paid for almost 6 months. It's paid for. So it's just here. We got some of the best computers,
Mhm.
all inbuilt computers from the States. So you can come and do research. One of your greatest research space would be here, where we can guide you through the process. So it is not like you have to register with a specific fee. I think one of the things the vice president cautioned me to do is that not to just make everything free. So if you are coming to do research, we're asking maybe to pay a little bit of 200 Liberian dollars, which is not
Mhm.
even, which is almost like $1 plus or $1.15. So they just put in the internet box so that we can have that money, just for you. So it's not like we're putting exorbitant fees because we know the poverty situation within the country. So we're making sure
Okay.
that we're not charging people. But if you come for consultation where you want your thesis to be done, of course, yeah, then we will have to work with you based upon your economic status, then work with you. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
and I must commend you for that, though. All those that have been coming on my show from Liberia, you've had the best quality so far. I mean, the video is HD and everything is like I'm speaking to somebody in an advanced country. So thank you. I think
Yeah.
whatever setup you guys have over there is great. So hopefully, when Liberia shall rise, make it to Liberia. I will ask to use your facility too to host my show, but that's for
Yeah.
another day. That's for
Yeah,
another
we
day.
got the best, fastest speed internet here. So
Yeah, but again, brother, thank you so much for what you're doing. I just want to take this time now to kind of ask you to use your experience. What would you say to Liberians that were born in the US, Liberians that have been out of Liberia for a long time, and Liberians that are around the world that are doubting that Liberia is a place to be, Liberia is a place to invest? What will you say to them to encourage them to say, hey, even though I went through all these struggle, I think it's okay for us to start from somewhere. What would you say to that person?
well, I would say to Liberians, any part of the world, I think one of the things we always do is to compare Liberia with Ghana, compare Liberia with Sierra Leone, compare Liberia with even America. Sometimes we make those side mistakes. And the problem doing that is the fact that Liberia cannot be Ghana, Liberia cannot be America, Liberia cannot be any country. Liberia is Liberia. This is the only
Yeah.
place we have. And so
Mhm.
making those critical comments and criticizing Liberia really don't bring any change to Liberia. So I think if all of us we cannot keep waiting for foreigners. We cannot keep waiting for somebody to come and help Liberia. It is ourselves. I always say that the change we all envision is here and it starts with us. So if we can build Liberia, we can change Liberia. Imagine I left everything just to come here. And my greatest fulfillment and satisfaction is to watch hundreds of young people go through these programs and become successful and call me back and say, "Oh, Mr. Kyne, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." The fulfillment just to have people, changing their construct, because most of what we see in Liberia, we have a lot of young children who, as a result of the civil war, their thought process, not even the civil war, poverty, because the civil war is long gone, but
Mhm.
drug addiction now is at the higher pace in the country. How can we change that? We got experts. How many social workers we have in Liberia? Limited
Not a
social
much.
workers.
Yeah.
How many psychologists we have in Liberia? Limited. So if
Yeah.
all of us psychologists and social workers coming down to this country to help stamp out the drug addiction, because that's the first cause. So we have to do it. So one of the things I would tell Liberian abroad who are experts, you don't have to come and live here, but you can establish program here. You can come on mission trip. You can come on 2-3 weeks and give back. Our center is open if you want to conduct workshop. We give you a whole space. We give you the audience to we'll work out everything. People will come. So that's what we need to do. But we can't be in America. We can't be in Europe and criticizing people. So I've changed that perspective. That I think one of the things that Martin Luther King said that changed. If you see a dot, you can't cast the dot. All you need to do is live a light to brighten the space. And so that's the kind of mentality I think we all should develop. Think about it. What area in Liberia you think you can impact? What is that your expertise, and how can someone benefit from it? And we all come together with those mindsets, then of course then we can change this country. And it starts with us. It's not foreigner. America has her own problem.
Mhm.
I live in America. We got so many homeless people in America. Drug addiction is at a high pace. The shooting, everything going on. And America has to deal with our own problem. Liberia needs to deal with our own problems. And it takes Liberian to solve these problems. We cannot keep looking up for help. I think we need to erase that mentality. All of us now, there is something within. One of the things that I don't know what it is. One of the American presidents says, "Not what your country can do for you, but
Yeah.
what
John
can
F.
you do for
Kennedy.
your country?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
John F.
so John F. Kennedy was very audible, and that's my philosophy. What can I do for this country? Is that what the
Wow.
country can do for me? I've been here 1 year. I have a good job. I made money. I've been here 1 year. I'm not working. I'm using my own spending
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
transform lives. Nobody paid me. I'm not getting paid. People say, "Oh, you've been there 1 year." No, I'm not getting paid here. I just surviving. And
Mhm.
because of the passion and with God being on my side, I am making it through Liberia. So I'm not making money here. I'm running. I got staff. It's staff that I have to take care of every month. Whether I get the money or I don't have the money, I have to take care of it. But I haven't
Wow.
taken care of myself yet. So
Mhm.
that's the passion. You have to have that passion and make that sacrifice to help see Liberia transform. What we
So
have here. I mean, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, please.
thank you for that, though. Thank you for that passionate appeal to Liberians abroad. And I want to say personally, on behalf of your family, your children, I want to say thank you too for making that sacrifice, right? So my next
Yeah.
question will be, what are some of the challenges for you making that sacrifice to leave your family, and then you in a country where you're not making any money at all? What have been all of the other challenges that you have faced that I would just say challenges in general. I know the sacrifice from
Well,
family is there.
challenges is resource. Trust me, if I were making some of the money that people are making, especially huge government officials, if we were getting just some of those money into the center, I'll tell you, we would do. We would probably. I can rest assured, if I were making or having full government support, and get all non-profit, some other organizations that support this program, knowing where it is. Trust me, we would be in Banga, we would be in Nimba, we would be in every county, because that's our vision. Our vision is not to be stationed in Monrovia. So we need resources. Trust me, the little resources. Like right now, we're conducting we're about to conduct an effective training of almost 250 psychoeducators. Zogos, the drug addiction crisis in Liberia is so much, and it's getting alarming and severe. And for the first time, we brought together 25 emerging youth organizations. And the purpose for the center is to train them to be psychoeducator and go out. Can you imagine? We pay for the training, but even to have food to feed about 200 people for the 2 weeks, we don't have it yet up to now. We've sent out letters. Nobody have ever catered to that. So yeah, so that's the struggle we face here. So now we have to mingle and ask these people who come in to get training to also provide feeding for themselves. So my appeal, if I were to make an appeal, that would be my greatest appeal, to have people, even if you can't give much, but give to this particular training for substance abuse addiction, trying to help over 200 Liberians who will get 2 weeks training in advance, certificate understanding the science of addiction, being able to conduct a psychoeducation group within the various community. Not only are they getting training, after that we will go out into the community. So that's my appeal. If anyone want to make an appeal or help in this process or help Liberia, if you've been thinking, what can I do for Liberia? This is one place that you can invest. And I tell you, whatever investment you make will do a whole lot in this country.
And quickly though, how can people donate, or how can people donate to your cause if they wanted to donate?
Well, Steve, I hope they can send the money to you and you can send it to me.
All right, that's good. So folks, I will post it. I'll post my stuff here. Is $ Dr. Positive. If you want to donate, just donate and tell us you're donating towards the Kalikya Center in Liberia, and we'll send all that to Mr. Kyne. So let me just put that. So $ Dr. Positive. It's very simple. Cash app, or you can do Zelle, but inbox me too. So let me write this quickly. All right. So $ Dr. Positive. Ms. Kume, if you can just tell people how you call it, type that in for me for people to donate. You can write it up better for me. If people want to donate, they can donate to that Cash App symbol. That would be great. But thank you so much again. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on. I just want us to end this basically with your dream. What is your Liberian dream? And how do you hope to see it, brother? How do you hope to see it? What is that Liberian dream?
Well, my dream for Liberia is to see first a nation that upholds the rule of law. That's my first goal. That those who engage in corruption should be held accountable and persecuted for that. I envision a Liberia where we will breath out some of the greatest leaders in the world that will lead this country to prosperity and to where God has designed it to be. My greatest vision for Liberia is to have most of my peers who were robbed as a result of the Civil War, their time that they will be educated, gain some level of education. And my dream for Liberia is for Liberia to be a prospering country, to be the beacon of hope for the rest of Africa as it have always been. So that's my vision, to have a good healthcare system in the country where young women going to the hospital pregnant will not die in childbirth and what have you. And we will have rural connectivity. My vision for Liberia is for Liberia to not be centered in Monrovia, but rather Liberia will spread out through all the counties, having cities and universities and hospitals in all these other counties. So that's my vision for Liberia. And I pray that I will see some of this happen in my lifetime and not wait for my great-great-grandchildren to see it. So I'm trying to prepare and fix a Liberia where my children from the United States can come and live and go to school and enjoy. So that's why I'm making the sacrifice at the moment. And that's my vision for Liberia.
Yeah, and thank you for that, family. I'm so sorry I've been a little selfish today. I was enjoying the conversation until I forgot to post the number But we are wrapping the show up. I'm going to ask my last question. While he's answering that question, if you want to call in, please do. But sorry for my selfishness. This was my fault. But Mr. Kyne, as a parting word, what is your hope for the Liberian youth? And I want to ask you, I want to appeal to you to please use that appeal, that hope for the Liberian youth to appeal to other Liberians in the diaspora who have money or who have opportunities that they can come and establish in Liberia. Can you please do that for me?
Well, I think I would tell the youth is that what I will tell them is the fact that no matter where you find yourself, no matter your family name or whatever your connection is, uh, there is always purpose greater than your circumstance and your situation. You can rise up to the occasion and be what you are. Here am I from Slipway, Roxbury Valley, wouldn't have expected to have gone to one of the greatest country in the world.
All right,
Also,
okay, good, good. We're hearing you now.
not
Good.
only be a not only be a professor, but also pastor churches in the United States. And so, if God can take me from zero to hero, that means God can do it for all of us. And so, the young people, I want you to be inspired. There is hope. Just keep hope alive. Don't
Oh, so you're getting calls in? Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just keep hope alive. I think that those would be my parting words. That you can keep hope alive, and things are going to be better. Don't give up. Don't sell yourself. Don't sell your integrity. Don't let
We can hear you, Adam. We cannot hear you. No, we cannot still hear you. No, not yet. We still can't hear you. All right. No, I can still hear you. So I think on that note, I was actually wrapping up. So if you want to come back, go off and come back in, and you come back quick and say a final word, and then we can end the show, please. All right, folks. Again, all of you watching, I just want to say thank you for taking up your time to spend with us this afternoon. And sorry for the time change. Liberia changed their time, and we have to be on a radio station at 7 p.m. in Liberia. That's why we had to change the time to 2 p.m. to match that time. So I hope this was informative for you, and I hope you find it in your heart to at least help somebody. This gentleman is doing something great. He's doing something brilliant to help the children of Liberia, to help make a dent. Like Mother Teresa said, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone in the rivers and create ripples. So he, on the other hand, is creating his own ripples in Liberia. So please help whatever way you can to improve that what he's doing. So Mr. Khan, quickly, when will be that event that you have in the train of 200 people?
or it starts this Monday.
Oh,
And so
so
I'm
actually,
ready.
so the flyer we had up, that's what that is going to be part of.
No, that is a different event. That event is the vice president and I working in collaboration with a country called Belize. We
Okay,
have a politician who's coming to this country to inspire young people.
okay,
Whose story epitomizes most of the challenges young people face in the world. So he's coming to inspire. He's in Hollywood, made it through the Hollywood chart. I think his music hit Billboard record. He was deported, but he didn't stop there. He worked his life on and become, almost one of the most famous politicians in Belize.
okay.
And he's decided to come to Liberia. It's our 200 years bicentennial return. So a lot of people come in. So we invited him, and he's going to be here at the center. Matter of fact, right after speaking that day, he will be leaving. But the training starts on Monday. The substance abuse training starts on Monday, and we're looking up to you guys. Those of you in the diaspora, you can feed somebody, feed our group. I think that would be good. It's a 2 weeks training. If you don't have it now, you can be a blessing to Stephen. I think Stephen, I trust him. He's my friend, childhood friend, and he will reach out with money to us, whatever.
Yeah, and then you can also text me your send wave too. I will check my cash app. I'm sure folks $ Dr. Positive is easy. $, $10, $5, anything. Just send it to me and I will add it up and send it to Mr. Khan again. Mr. Khan, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for what
Yeah.
you're doing. And on behalf of Liberia Shall Rise, on behalf of our audience, and on behalf of Mama Liberia and our ancestors, I want to say thank you for hearing her cry to return home. Because like you said, if we don't do it, nobody will do it. So I want to give my hats off to you. And I think you have encouraged me, to wake up more every morning, dreaming about doing what I can in Liberia. So, man, I'm working on it. Someday will come up soon, but I'm coming to Liberia I don't want to say it on air, but I'm coming to Liberia soon. And basically that's the purpose. I'm coming to start laying my groundwork. So thank you for what you are doing. Say something to the audience, to say bye. Just say one or two words. And
God, again, like I started, the greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is a life that does not fulfill its potential. Don't die if you have not fulfilled your potential. Fulfill your potential before you die. So it doesn't matter where you find yourself. But I think fulfillment is the greatest thing. It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's not your location. If you can fulfill what God called you to be, I think your life will be better. And I'm happy. I'm in Liberia. LEC goes off and on every now and then, but I am stay happy. I may not have all of the luxury and what I used to have in America. It doesn't mean I can't go back and go back anytime, but just I choose to live this life for now until to see all the life transform and to see this country change. So again, the greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's the life that does not fulfill its potential. So fulfill your potential. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I think on that note, I would like to end the show. Thank you so much. You have a great day and all the best, brother. So, family, again, thank you so much. Like my brother said, the greatest strategy in life is not death, is living a life without fulfillment. The greatest strategy in life is not death, but living your life without fulfillment. What will you fulfill? What will be your fulfillment, family? What are you going to do to make an impact in this world in which we live today? So I just want to leave that with you from Mr. Adam Kyne. He said the greatest strategy in life is not death, is living your life without fulfillment. So think about that as we end this broadcast. Think about that as you live your life. Think about that as you go to sleep tonight. Living your life, the greatest strategy in life is not death, it's a life without fulfillment. What will be your fulfillment? What will you do to have an impact in this world? Like Mother Teresa said, I alone cannot change the world, but I can drop a stone in the rivers and create ripples. So what ripples will you be creating? So please, family, thank you so much for spending your time with us. Hopefully I can get at least $1 from some of you, $10 from some of you to help Mr. Khan in what he's doing. Again, thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. I will leave you with a song from Zach and Jiba that says, keep on trying. Life is not easy, but we all have to keep on trying because nothing will ever remain the same. Once you keep on trying, someday things will get better. All right, you guys have a good day.
When your child will laugh at you, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. As long as there is life, there's got to be hope. Keep on trying.